Episode number 92. Hello, you're listening to the Career Changemaker podcast. Having the courage to leave a career that you have worked hard to build and try something else can be tough. So in each episode, we dive into key career change strategies so that you have a clear understanding of what is required to transition into a new role or a new industry without feeling like you have to start at the bottom or have to take a massive pay cut, because ain't nobody got time for that. If you are ready for frank and honest discussions about how to become a career change maker, keep listening. I'm your host, lawyer turned career strategist and executive coach, Janine Brand. Are you eager to get unstuck and figure out what you would actually like to do with your career next? Have you been going around in circles trying to figure it out but getting no further forward? If so, you're going to love today's sponsor, my signature group program, the Career Clarity Academy. Changing career direction can feel overwhelming and daunting, but it doesn't have to be. In my signature program, we give you clear, step-by-step, proven processes for getting completely clear on what it is that you want to do and understanding how you can leverage your existing experience and position yourself to attract and land a dream role. To find out more, head over to lightboxcoaching.com/academy. Career Changemaker podcast. It is wonderful to be back with you again today as part of the Career Changemaker Sprint Challenge. So we are on day 4. If you haven't listened to day 1, 2, and 3 of this series, then I need you to go back and listen, because we have been diving into the different aspects of career change that you need to consider if a career change is on the horizon for you. So today we're going to be talking about a really important aspect. So once you have got clear on what it is you want, why you want it, and you've started to really look at what you can bring to a new role, the next thing is to start actually brainstorming what type of role you would move into. And this is the point where a lot of people get stuck in the process. The thought of making a career change is fantastic. People are like, yes, I want to do it. They may well feel motivated. But then when you start saying, okay, well, what path am I going to take? That's when it can get difficult, because people start to think about what's not possible. And it's so interesting to me how often this comes up with people from various different backgrounds, regardless of what it is they've done in the past. The same fears and beliefs come up about what is possible for them going forward. And I think it comes down to feeling like the move that you want to make is too big. And as soon as you raise an idea, or you have an idea about where it is you want to move to, the immediate question that comes up is, okay, but how? How am I going to make it happen? So before you fully explored the what, in terms of what is it that you would actually want to do and what does that actually look like, you start asking yourself the how question. And because you can't immediately see how it will be possible or viable, you discount it as an option. I want to share a story with you which demonstrates how your belief about what is possible can be the difference between you actually moving towards what you really want to do and you staying stuck. So one of my clients who recently completed the Career Clarity Academy, she came into the program thinking she had an idea of what she wanted to do. And as she worked through the program and went through the curriculum that we share, she recognized that there were some other options that she wanted to pursue. And on one of the group coaching calls that we had, I asked her, what are some of the options you're considering? And she said, well, one of the things I have down here is author, but how would I even do that? That's crazy. What would I even write about? I could never do that, but I have put it down. And when I challenged her on why she couldn't do it, she was sharing various different reasons why she wouldn't be able to do it. She hasn't got a topic to write about. She's not well enough known. She doesn't have time to write because she's a mother of 2, and various different reasons why becoming an author wasn't possible for her and why it was such a big goal that she probably wouldn't achieve. And what's really, really interesting is as she went through the process that we take our clients through and started to challenge some of those beliefs, she got to the place at the end of the program where she came to me and told me that she had just hired a writing coach and she just had a conversation with her husband who had agreed that they could carve out some special particular time in her diary each and every week where he would watch the kids so that she could focus on writing. I was literally like, this is amazing, and you do not understand why this is so amazing, because I was getting really excited about it. And the reason why I was getting excited is because the mindset shift that happened for her over the course of the program is what led her to go from, oh, I could never be an author, to I'm actually taking the steps to start writing. Right? So I'm sharing that with you because the way that you think about what is possible is going to determine what action you actually take towards making it happen. So what you need to do is, instead of going into this career change journey saying, I can't do certain things, there's only certain options that are available to me, what you need to do is challenge those beliefs. Is it really true that you can't do the thing that you're thinking about doing? Are you already counting yourself out of a particular path before you've really explored it? Because if you do that, if you show up and you say, that's not possible for me, then of course it's not going to be possible, because we haven't even tried. You haven't even taken any steps. You haven't really challenged. You haven't really researched. You haven't really found out whether it is possible. You've just shut it down and you've said it's not. So instead of approaching it by saying, okay, I've already determined what I'm not able to do, how about we approach it with an open mind and say, these are the things that I've put down, and so I'm going to look into them. I'm going to explore them. I'm going to look at what could be possible for me, as opposed to saying, yeah, no, I could never do that. Oh, no, I haven't got enough time for that. Oh, I haven't got enough experience for that. Oh, I'm too old for me to make that kind of change. No, not necessarily. So instead of coming at this from a place of, I'm just going to try and do the things that seem possible to me, the things that I know that I would be able to do, let's decide on what it is that you really want to do. And then we can deal with the how later. We can tackle how would I actually make that happen later. But first, let's make a commitment to actually making the move. You know, when I first said I would love to do a TEDx talk one day, I said that. And when I said it, it was really said in kind of that one day type of tone. Like, one day I'd love to do that. But I really didn't have much intention of making it happen. And it wasn't until my husband turned to me and said, yeah, you could do that I thought, no, I couldn't. And he said, why not? Why couldn't you? And I couldn't come up with an answer as to why I couldn't do it. And so at that point, I made a commitment and said, you know what? I am going to become a TEDx speaker one day. Now I just need to figure out the how. And that's what I did. I figured out the how. It took me a couple of years from going from that conversation with my husband to actually standing on a TEDx stage. It took me a couple of years from having that conversation with my husband to actually standing on a TEDx stage, but it happened. I did my TEDx talk, and if you want to check it out, it's on YouTube. If you look up Janine S. Brown TEDx talk, you will see it. But it was possible for me to figure out how I could make it happen because I didn't shut it down as a possibility. And it's possible for my client to start writing her book because she pushed past her initial inclination to shut it down and she started to explore how she could make it happen. So for you, in order for you to make the radical career change that you want to make or the small pivot that you want to make, you need to become the type of person who is willing to push past the initial feelings of this isn't possible and the initial thoughts that I am not good enough to make this change, and really stand in, no, I'm committed to exploring fully how I can make this particular career change path work if you've established that role would be a good role for you and a role that you really desire. Because once you do that, once you push past those initial feelings of, I can't do this isn't possible for me, what's available to you is you being able to work in a way that is fully aligned with you as a person, where you are playing to your strengths, where you are making an impact in the world through the work that you do because you are willing to get uncomfortable, because you are willing to step outside of your comfort zone, push towards something that you really want to do, and figure out how to make it happen. Figuring out how to make it happen is not what you do straight away. That's what you do after you've made the commitment to what it is you want to do. Too many people focus on how can I make this happen early on, so that they psych themselves out of actually making the move. It's like, oh, how would I even do that? How could I have no idea. I don't know anybody in that industry. I don't have any contacts. I don't know what it is I'm supposed to be doing. I don't know how to network. And because they don't know those things off the bat, they say, okay, well, it's not possible for me. But I want to encourage you and say that it is possible for you to find out how. But first, let's make the commitment to the what. What is it that you really, really want to do? When you make a commitment to making it happen, then we can work on the strategy. Because there's so many different ways that you can make something happen. There's so many strategies that you can implement. There's so many approaches that you can take. Focusing on the what first and getting committed to making the change, and then looking at the how, is what's going to really help you to push forward and move past those initial beliefs. Because we all have them. We all have limiting beliefs. Those beliefs that are beliefs that we may have had because of what someone has said to us, because of what we've seen happen to other people, because of thoughts that we've had that we've allowed to just, because of thoughts that we've had that we've just taken as fact. There's so many reasons why we have limiting beliefs. And so I want you to really take some time to think through what it is that you've been thinking and believing about your career change and what's possible for you. The task for you today is to come up with 3 career options. Dream big. 3 things. Write down 3 things that you would love, love, love to do. If there were no filters, if there were no barriers, if there were no limiting beliefs, what would you put down? Let's start dreaming big. Let's allow our minds to wander and allow ourselves to dream big. And the reality is, it's likely, and I've seen it happen time and time again, where the dream big option isn't actually impossible. It's something that is achievable. It may seem impossible for you and outside of your grasp because it's not something that you've ever approached before, but in the grand scheme of things, it is achievable. So when somebody says, I would love to write a book one day, it's like, yeah, you can write a book. You could write a book and get self-published. Totally possible. I would love to speak internationally. You could do that. I would love to start a business and grow that business to a multi-million-pound company. You could do that too. I would love to be the CEO of certain type of company. That's possible. Like, all of these things are possible. So if when you're saying things, then it feels like it's not possible for you, maybe you should think about expanding your network with people who are doing the very things that feel impossible to you. How about you start connecting with people who are already doing those things so that you see that it is possible, right? So go away, do your list. At least 3 things, at least 3 options, and come over to the Facebook group, Career Change Made Simple. Post it in there. I would love to see what you're thinking. And I'll be back again tomorrow, rounding us up with day 5. If you've been enjoying this series so far, I would love, love, love for you to tag me over on Instagram. Let me know what your biggest takeaways have been so far. So tag me at Career Changemaker, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Career Changemaker podcast. If you have enjoyed what you've heard today, then head over to iTunes or wherever it is that you listen to podcasts and leave us a rating and review. And don't forget to subscribe so that you can hear when the next episode goes live. And if you like hanging out on Instagram, then I would love for you to tag me and let me know what you really thought about the episode over there at Career Changemaker. Until next time, keep working towards your career goals, and we will speak very, very soon.